Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and we talk about all things true crime here. In today's case, we'll be talking about the murder of Paul Wilson. In my last video, I said that we're going to be doing smaller videos for a little while, at least a few, just to get used to the YouTube experience. It's a little weird recording yourself, talking to yourself, but I think it's important that even these smaller cases get out there, because even though it's not a deep dive with about an hour long of information, it may only be 10 minutes, but that information matters to Paul Wilson and his sister. So I think it's important that even if they're not super long cases, that I'm still going to post them. Paul Wilson was born on November 8th, 1959 to his parents Hildegard and Charles Wilson. He was born and raised in Danvers, Massachusetts, which you might actually know previously as Salem Village, which I kind of think is cool. I definitely hope to visit there one day. He graduated from Danvers High School and went on to get his master's from the University of Massachusetts of Lowell. Lowell? I hope I said that right. At the time of his death, Paul actually lived in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and he was living there for the previous 24 years and was said to have loved the city. And other than these basic details, that's really all I have about Paul, because like I said, in these smaller cases, there's not a ton of information, so I'm only going with, unfortunately, what I was able to find. It is noted that he's social, fun-loving, and enjoyed being outside in nature. He was also an engineer at IBM at the time of his death. In one article, his sister said that he was very close with their family and would spend hours during the week with their elderly parents. He also enjoyed spending his weekends watching sports, riding his motorcycle, and just enjoying time with his family. Unfortunately, Paul would go on to be murdered on January 2nd, 2019. And he started his morning as he usually would. He would end up taking a blue bike to the MBTA station, which is close to his house, also known as the Massachusetts Bay Transport Authority, and he returned home the same way. After returning from work, he would park his bike near his house before he would walk into Dahey Park. Again, I hope I said that right. Paul would often take walks in this park. It was located pretty close to his house, and it was roughly about a 50-acre park that was often used for people to go jogging or go on dog walks. Or take their dog for a walk. Paul often took walks in this 50-acre park for fun or to get to the nearby Whole Foods market. And on that day, January 2nd, 2019, someone called 911 at 6:46 p.m. reporting seeing an unresponsive body laying under a street lamp along one of the paved paths near the new street entrance. This person that was laying on the ground, he was actually visible from the parking lot. Paul was then transported to the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, which is actually the teaching hospital for Harvard Medical School. So Paul was taken there, where unfortunately he would be pronounced dead later that evening at 10:18 p.m. He was just 60 years old. It was clear to police that this definitely was a homicide, as the cause of death was multiple blunt force trauma to the head. It did not look like robbery was the motive, because Paul still had his Apple Watch and other items that would probably be taken during a robbery. While police were investigating, they found a baseball bat not far from the crime scene in the hopes that this would give them some sort of lead into the murder, but it was found to have no connection to the case. Blood was also found close to the crime scene, which police were hoping this was the killer's blood, but after they did some testing, they found out that it was just animal blood, and it was of no help to the case. Police are baffled by a few things. One, that this crime took place at 6:30 p.m. in a well-traveled park, and that Paul was 6 foot 6 inches tall. He was not just a man that you would just overtake very easily. They felt that he had to be overpowered, since he was such a big man, that it wouldn't take a lot to take him down if he wasn't caught off guard. During the investigation, police were told by Paul's family that he would often go into the park and that it was a place he felt safe in. He would even take his telescopes in there at around 2 a.m. to look at the stars. That was almost 4 years ago. This upcoming January, it'll be 4 years since Paul was murdered, and there still are no answers. Paul's sister Elizabeth is still fighting for justice and says not a day goes by that she doesn't think of him. She also believes that Paul was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that someone went out that evening looking for trouble, as in they were looking for anybody, and he was just unfortunately the first person they saw, or the first person they saw that they had access to. But that's still kind of weird, because he's 6 foot 6, and I feel like that would deter a lot of people. Another case, and that's all we have. I know it sucks that there's no closure, but that's why I wanted to cover this case for Paul and Paul's sister. I consume a lot of true crime, and I have not heard this case, so I thought it was important to get the name out there. You never know who might have any information regarding this case. But next time, I will bring a solved one, I promise. I have a quote from Paul's sister that I think is important. She said, quote, "Our family, just everyone, struggles with the same question. Why? I truly believe somebody knows something, and it could be any little tidbit, anything, something you don't think is important at all. It could be the one thing that leads to another." The family is also offering a $10,000 reward, leading to the arrest and indictment of Paul's murderer. If you have any information, please reach out to the Massachusetts State Police at 718-876-6600 or Anonymous Crime Tip Hotline at 617-349-3359. If you have made it to the end of this video, thank you. I truly appreciate you. Please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I forgot that in the beginning. And all my handles will be in the description box so you can follow me on social media. All right, until next time, take care and stay safe.